Hello! Today I am flanked by some pink flowers because I am going to be ranking the songs on Taylor Swift's new album, Lover, using data. For context, I've been a fan of Taylor Swift since 4th grade when the album Fearless came out. My favorite song in the entire world was Forever and Always. I think that was about Joe Jonas, so how the times have changed. I've been listening to the Lover album on repeat. I have a pretty good sense of how I would rate the songs, but I wanted to see how the numbers speak, so to say. So yesterday actually, I pulled out a bunch of numbers from the YouTube videos / audio of these songs. And these are things like views, likes, dislikes, position on the Billboard Hot 100, comments, and I analyze the sentiments. And I use these to form a definitive ranking of the songs. If we're talking specifics though, I didn't actually use all of those numbers that I just mentioned. And I also had to normalize them. Let me explain what I mean. First, I kind of just sat down and I thought about all the data that I just mentioned, and I kind of picked out what was actually helpful in forming the rankings and what was not. So first, views. I thought this was helpful in forming the rankings because more views on the YouTube audio video means it's more popular. A super specific note on this actually. All these numbers I pulled from the videos of the YouTube audio, so they kind of look like this. And for her singles, I also used the YouTube audio for them, and they look a little different. Like this one is the one for Lover. I didn't use the lyrics videos or the music videos because I figured those were released earlier than the rest of the album, and also people probably watch them for reasons separate from just the song. Cool, moving on. Likes. So I thought having the number of views on the video and the number of likes was kind of redundant. The more people who watch a video, the more who will tend to like that video. Instead of looking at the likes and the dislikes, I chose to look at some ratios, which are slightly more informative. The first ratio I looked at was the number of likes to the number of views. And I thought that was a good indication of how strongly and positively people felt about the song because they had to actually make an effort to like it after watching it. The second ratio I looked at was the number of likes to the total number of reactions, where the total number of reactions is the number of likes plus number of dislikes. It's pretty clearly a good signal on how much people actually like the song. Okay, so those are the numbers that you can kind of just see directly on the YouTube video. The next two are not. So the first one of these, exclusive, not directly pulled from YouTube sources, is actually an article from Billboard. Basically it said that all 18 of Taylor's songs are on the Billboard Hot 100, and that's kind of crazy. I think Billie Eilish made the previous record, and now all of Taylor Swift's 18 songs are on there. What I did with this is I ranked them in the reverse order of how they were listed on Billboard chart. So the song that's highest on the charts is You Need to Calm Down, and so that got 18. And then the one that's lowest on the charts, It's Nice to Have a Friend, that got 1. So in this way, the bigger number means better. One that's trending more on the charts is probably going to be a better song. The final source of data I used is from the comments of the YouTube videos I used before. This required a little bit more work. First, I scraped all the comments of all 18 songs, and what I did is I ran each of these comments through what's called Vader sentiment analysis. In the simplest terms, Vader basically has a list of positive terms like love and amazing, and also negative ones like terrible and hate. It essentially goes through the words and it'll assign what's called a compound score to the comment you're analyzing. I also weighed each comment by the number of likes it got because that kind of shows how many people feel similarly. I did this for every single comment on every single song. With all this, for every single song, I could get a number that represented the average sentiment of people in the comments. I thought that that would be a good representation of how generally people are talking about the song and how they feel about it. Okay, so that's all the data that I collected to form these rankings. Congrats if you're still with me. Ultimately, I want to give a score to each song. So songs with a bigger score means it's ranked higher. But if you think about it, it's super unfair if I'm adding the number of views on the video with the position on the Billboard chart. So I normalized all the scores. So for every single metric that I'm taking into account, and I'll list them all here somewhere. I transformed those numbers to a value from 0 to 1. So I did that for every single one of these metrics, and then all I had to do from there was sum them up. So for each song, I summed up all the metrics to compose a final score. And with that final score, I can compose a ranking. And here it is. I'm going to start from the bottom. So in 18th place, we have Me. Okay, that kind of sounds like I'm the one in last place. The song Me is in last place. So I think I'm seeing the reasons why it's ranked so low. Because I normalized the scores, the song that did worst for each metric is going to have a value of 0. Me had values of 0 for the likes to views ratio, the likes to reactions ratio, and the comment sentiment. So it did worst for all of those. It had the highest number of views, but clearly that did not do enough to boost its ranking. In 17th place, we have False God. This is kind of in the middle of my personal rankings, so not much comment on that. In 16th place, we have Soon You'll Get Better. I'm kind of sad about this because I really like this song. It's like part of my top 5, I'd say. It reminds me of Safe and Sound, which is like pretty much my favorite Taylor Swift song of all time, I think. There's so many, it's kind of hard. I really like sad songs too, so it's a good song. Why is that 16th? I don't know. In 15th place, we have You Need to Calm Down. And I kind of agree with this because I didn't love this song. Like, I loved the video and I loved the message, but the song itself was a little bit too like bright for me. In 14th place, we have The Archer. I don't know if I love this song as much as I love other of Taylor's like quieter songs, like Call It What You Want from Reputation. In 13th place, we have Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince. I am also sad about this. First of all, that like Harry Potter-esque title, and second of all, the song lyrics themselves are genius. Just go read them. So I don't understand what it's doing at 13th. But also 13 is Taylor's like lucky number. So maybe being in 13th place is actually like a good indication. Moving on. In 12th place, London Boy. This is another of those songs where it's a little bit too bright and happy for me. 11th place, we have Cruel Summer. I am very upset about this because Cruel Summer was one of my early favorites and it like got stuck in my head instantly after I heard it. Like, it's just a good song, okay? In 10th place, we have Cornelia Street. I also like the song. I think it's kind of a blend between her 1989 and her Red vibes. So kind of cool. In 9th place, we have Afterglow. I have nothing against that ranking. In 8th place, we have Death by a Thousand Cuts. I think some songs that I've already mentioned should have been ranked above Death by a Thousand Cuts, but you can't always have what you want in life. In 7th place, we have I Forgot That You Existed. I think I Forgot That You Existed kind of has that signature Taylor, I don't give a shit kind of attitude, so I think it's a very Taylor song. It's not really an adjective, but. In 6th place, we have Daylight. I heard Taylor say that the word daylight describes the whole album, kind of, so I think it's pretty appropriate that it's ranked highly. In 5th place, we have Paper Rings. Paper Rings gave me a total Mean vibe. Do you remember that song where she plays like the banjo and stuff? In 4th place, we have It's Nice to Have a Friend. It's surprising to me that this was ranked in 4th because it's the lowest on the Billboard chart, but it also has the highest average comment sentiment and the highest ratio of likes to views. Third, we have The Man. I love this song so much. It's this feminist song where Taylor's talking about how if she was a man, she would get there quicker, or they wouldn't be talking about like what things she's wearing. And I think it has like the best bridge of all the songs in this album. It's a really cool message and it's just a great auditory experience. Okay, we're coming in to the top 2. In 2nd place, we have I Think He Knows. At first, I didn't like this song. I was like, this is too upbeat for me. But the more I listen to it, the more I like it. I love that it has such a sassy beat and it doesn't really take itself too seriously. So now I am at peace with its 2nd place ranking. Okay, the final one. I mean, it's the one that I didn't say, so. Lover, the title track. it is the #1 spot. Out of all her singles, this was the one that I liked most upon first hearing it. It's actually not the top scorer in any of these individual categories, so I'm surprised it worked its way up there. Also, in terms of the song, I feel like people haven't been talking about the song as much as her other songs, so I don't know how it actually is the first song, but I like the song too, and the data doesn't lie, so. Okay, that is all for this video. I got my ranking. I'm pretty shocked about it. But you know, what can you do when the data speaks to you? I'll link everything down below, so if you want to verify my numbers or learn more about how I compose this ranking, you'll see it. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go eat some food now. Bye.